Scentland, the land of scent. Bienvenue, mesdames et messieurs, chers amis. I'm Chris. Welcome back to another fragrance review. And this time I'm going to be concentrating on one of my, or if not my, favorite actor and personality, Monsieur Alain Delon. I follow him for many years in the movies and what's happening with him as a private person or celebrity, put it that way. And of course also what's happening with things that are being marketed under his name. For example, fragrances, but also ties and wallets and whatnot, champagne, cognac, and you have many other things, sunglasses and stuff like this, ties and clothing, and you name it. Obviously, fragrances is something that I was ever since I'm involved with fragrances, I was very curious on what Alain Delon is producing under his name, very successfully throughout the years. And concentrating on today's one, you have to go back in time to the year of 1967 when he has done a movie called Samurai. That was a very successful movie with a lonely man, a lonely assassin, and in 1995, he marketed a fragrance called Samurai, and it was highly successful, especially in, guess what, Japan. Okay, Japan obviously being the target market for this fragrance, then hence the name Samurai, which is a Japanese warrior, a very highly respected person, historical person in Japanese history or culture. And it was highly successful. It's still among the top 20 sellers in Japan. And it has many flankers by now. Samurai is really a tremendous success. And at the early 2000s, he tried to step this game up because he released another fragrance being named after a highly respected Japanese historical person, the Shógun. Now the Shóguns were they were tough. They were military dictators of Japan from 1185 up until the mid to late 19th century. So ladies and gentlemen, it's an honor for me to introduce to you Alain Delon, Shógun. Center stage open for the great military dictator, the Shógun. There you go. So, and if you take a look at the box, you can immediately see that it's all about Japan, right? This is really much aimed toward that audience, that target market, the target market there. The land of the rising sun, right? Nippon, and you can see it here. That's the sun coming up, right? A bit of clouds maybe across, but this is very similar to the sun that is being featured in the Japanese flag, actually. So it's definitely, it's the Nippon fragrance, the Shógun, the military dictator, the highly respected cultural, historical figure of Japan. And it continues with the actual bottle as well. You can see the name and the motifs here, and it looks like a helmet on a wide shoulder of a Japanese Shógun. It really is very, very nice. Heavy glass, fantastic, very nice. Obviously Japanese aimed presentation. Now, in regards to the very generous spray, I love the spray on this one. It sprays a cloud. It's very nice. And obviously, as we know, the Far Eastern countries do not appreciate very heavy tobacco, oud type of fragrances, right? So it's more about being fresh, clean, not offensive, but very tasteful. And this fragrance is all about that. I love this one to bits because not only because it's Alain Delon, but interestingly, almost each Alain Delon fragrance that exists is somehow very close to my taste. Maybe it has been obviously influenced by the fact that I like the man himself, but also the products seem to be, first of all, they're great quality, and second, there's something about them that makes them special. They're not aiming to copy anything. They're standalone, great quality releases, just like Shógun. Now, Shógun did not match the success of Samurai at all. Why? It's less playful than Samurai, if you know Samurai. But if you want to dive into this one, I like this one better than Samurai, and I'll tell you why. It has this, if you're talking about the smell, it has this dry gin cocktail type of feeling to it. It's fresh, spicy, green, floral, musky, dry, bitter. It's fresh because at the beginning it has this bergamot lemon type of thing. There's some basil, sage in there, lavender, very nice, jasmine, and then you find some sandalwood vetiver as well in there toward the dry down, and the great tomato leaf is in here as well. That makes it special. And I've done a review in regards to tomato leaf. Now, if you put tomato leaf in a fragrance, it's always a risk because tomato leaf is not very popular. It's not as popular as many notes, ingredients that they use in fragrances all the time in order to enhance the popularity level of the fragrance, right? The appreciation level at first sniff. Let me tell you, airport 2-second decision sniff that you make. This is a different fragrance. With this fragrance, you need to give it time to develop. It does not turn around. So this fragrance will always be along the lines of being fresh, spicy, musky, dry, bitter. It's very classy, very intelligently blended, very clean. It is a very clear-cut fragrance. Yet at the same time, it's for somebody who knows what he wants. It's a very, it doesn't take no for an answer, this fragrance. It's really, the name is very fitting because, okay, Samurai was a similar fresh, spicy floral fragrance, but more playful. Maybe the Samurai is not as tough as the Shógun, because this military dictator here doesn't take no for an answer, as I say. It's a very straightforward, man's fragrance in a way that it's not a copy of anything. I haven't smelled anything that smells like this. It's very interesting. I really like it a lot due to this, again, the overall smell, and I've mentioned the many ingredients, the many notes that are in here, but the overall smell is this dry gin cocktail type of smell that I get. Notes sticking out is obviously the bergamot at the beginning, the tomato leaf, the lavender. I love basil in the fragrance, great basil, sage as well, and then some slight bit of this vetiver feeling, but only just in the very end. Overall, it has this dry, bitter gin feeling about it, right? And I love this. It gives you. It's a very, very confident fragrance. I think this is the expression I was searching for in my head. Very confident fragrance. It lasts you a good time if you again spray it underneath your shirt, on hair as well. Just give it. I would really give this again. I'm doing 6 to 8 sprays with this, maybe even 10. I like to indulge in this one. It will never offend anyone, even if you're present when this is being sprayed. It's not pushy. It's more this type of a lingering fragrance that greets you with his whiffs of sophistication throughout the development and the time that you wear it. So for me, if I spray these between 6 and 10 sprays in the morning, I can still smell this fragrance well into the evening time, and other people around you can as well. It's not necessarily a compliment getter, so this is maybe also why it's not as successful in Japan as its predecessor, Samurai, was. But on the other hand, then this is more special, is not as widely available as Samurai. So if you're looking for an individual signature type of scent for the guy 25 and above, great contender, because there's also, it's very, very versatile as well. There's no season to this. In the winter, it cuts through the cold. In the summer, it has this bitterness that, you know, that keeps you, like a good gin cocktail, it keeps you on your toes, it keeps you in a good mood. So very versatile, overall, year-old fragrance, signature fragrance. I like it, and I use it, and I did a great stock up. I needed to stock up with this because I don't want to ever open my cooler and not have a bottle of Shógun sitting inside. And the overall presentation, the idea behind it, I like it, and therefore I always keep it in my rotations. Great for office use as well. For my work, it's perfect for a meeting, let's say, and all that. But it's great for casual as well. Yeah, it requires somehow a stronger personality. Not because it's that pushy, you know, like all the wood fragrances that they sitting on your shoulder and drag you down. This is not like that. This is more kind of a, because there's not much of a playfulness in this fragrance. You need to live up to the Shógun. Obviously, the Shógun was a man of great respect and great power, and this fragrance totally represents that to me. So a weaker person may be struggling to wear this, or get across or come across as a somebody who is fitting the fragrance, or the fragrance is fitting him. It's also what I wanted to say, very relaxing fragrance, very relaxing. It really calms you down. It really is it's smoothing your senses. It's a very well balanced fragrance. None of the ingredients shout or scream. Great blend. I don't understand why it's not that much popular anymore. I think this has actually been discontinued, while Samurai is still very much available everywhere. But again, you're looking for a great signature fragrance with this type of in this type of genre, in this type of fresh, spicy, bitter, dry, aromatic genre, working as a signature scent, and you feel that you can match the personality of the fragrance, then this might be something that you could well take a look at. So yeah, it's tremendous. It's really, really nice. I love this bitterness, this dry bitterness. I really like that. Still maintaining freshness, right? It's never the bitterness that is nauseating. That is, it's not an off bitterness. It's a pulsing bitterness. It's a fresh bitterness that keeps you on your toes. It's very, very nice. Shógun, the great fragrance for the dictator of Nippon, or being inspired at least by the dictators of Nippon throughout those many hundred years in Japanese history, and for the modern man who likes dry, bitter, aromatic, fresh, spicy fragrances, who likes Alain Delon, or the two combined, or who just likes to have a nice signature fragrance that works and that is not being copied and that's a standalone. So thanks very much. That was Chris with Shógun from Alain Delon from the year of 2001, and I'll be back with more. Take care. It was a pleasure. Take care. Bye-bye.